Thank you.
Oh. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the SOSO podcast. Hello. What's up? Although, look at our closet. Hold up. There's one thing that we're famous for, or known for, is that we're clean. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we're always clean. Two things. That we're clean and we're on time. Two things. What's up, everybody? This is what is this? The September, are we in, is it September edition?
This is it's September is ending, so September edition.
September 2023, ladies and gentleworms.
Welcome back.
This month, we had TGS. What else do we have? Oh, we started doing this, these auctions on, so that's
On Discord.
on Discord. That's something new. You are turning more and more. This, for the people that are listening to the audio, if you could just hit that just for a moment, just check out what Blue's wearing. This extravagant kimono that you got this morning.
Yeah, it came this morning finally. So it's just I've been looking at or for used like old kimono that I could wear, and I found one that's relatively my size. The arms are still too short for me, but then again, I have the arms of an orangutan, so
I really like that.
I think it's gonna be hard to find one that fits everything, but lengthwise it fits.
You
so.
got the Oni Obi too, or
Yeah.
the God Obi, and then you have
Yeah.
So those are supposed to be flowers, right? I don't want to go too like visual, but those are supposed to be flowers. I'm
It's
still
supposed to be.
deciding.
It's like I don't know. It looks like glitchy flowers, and I thought it fit our gamer aesthetic.
Your gamer aesthetic.
I'm a gamer.
I mean, it is black and red, which is like the quintessential gamer colors. So
technically, I would be called Jimmy from the Kimono ladies, though. So I would have to probably wear a different obi because this is too dark. Like it's
subtle?
because the kimono I'm wearing is black with like these gray flowers, sparse flowers. They're big, but they're pretty sparse. And the obi that I'm wearing is like a blackish brown, with like red and white, Fujin Daijin, which is like the god of thunder and wind. And so I think it would be considered too boring in kimono styling or fashion. So a lot of the ladies, if I were to go to Asakusa in this, a lot of the ladies would probably get mad at me for wearing something so Jimmy at my age, because it's like in the kimono world, the older you get, the more Jimmy you become.
And
the
Jimmy
more
means
plain.
like
Jimmy
subtle.
like plain or like subtle. So the older you get, the less stuff you're supposed to be able to wear. And so at 30s, you can't wear like the really big flowers that you see young people wear. But at the same time, you don't want to go too subtle or else they think you're older than you are. So there's actually like an age like requirement for like prints and stuff.
My God.
But yeah.
It's
or at least like pair like a really bright obijime or something to make the outfit brighter. Because right now I look like I'm mourning my husband.
We should go to Asakusa and see what people say. Like go to those stores and be like, rate my, because those people that work there are probably like.
No, they'll probably be like, your obi doesn't match your kimono. It's too dark. It's just dark. So I should, like, this is flippable as in like reversible. So the back is like this cream color. So if I flip it over, it works.
Yeah. Starting off with a lot of
yeah. But
sorry,
that's like
the visuals
completely...
are just I didn't realize like, look at this will be the last thing about the visuals, but the stark difference between this.
I mean, your shirt matches my obi. It's the off-white cream color. So
if I just wrap myself around you, then
it would work. Yeah. The hat doesn't work though. Sorry.
The Anupunk hat.
Yeah.
I've been getting some compliments on stream about how. So I was so this hat is all like beaten up by design, like it's all like it's damaged, and I really like this hat, but I didn't know if other people did. And we have a new merch lineup coming up with a new cap, but I'm thinking of making it this damaged one because I kind of miss it.
I like the damaged
So
one.
yeah. Anyways, so that's
I also
What's up?
before we move on, I do want to apologize. I just realized that I left the wrapping that this kimono came in. I forgot to put it away, so I apologize that there's like paper.
Again, clean is our number one.
Yeah, just
You know,
I forgot to put it away or throw it away. So
yeah, for such a
Yeah.
clean and well, language to content, and also
we're
just
very clean. Yeah.
aesthetically just clean people. Sorry for
Also, did
if
you
that.
know this kimono it's wool? It's summer wool. Do you know how expensive that is? And I got it for $20.
Yeah. So you're
It's
gonna be
ridiculous, but sorry.
so you're gonna be posting a video on that, right? You're gonna be a kimono TikTok influencer.
Yeah, I
after-
want to
right?
post TikToks. So.
Right. So I'm gonna be your cameraman. Let's see how that goes.
Or I might just use a tripod. We'll
Use me. Why won't you use me? I'm here. I'm like a
'Cause
tripod.
you might be shaky.
I'm a tripod with like one more arm.
Yeah, but you might be shaky.
No, phones are great these days.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll work it out. Anyway, so this month we went to TGS.
Mm-hmm.
We went to TGS we only went one day.
Mm-hmm. We went on a business day.
Yeah, we went on a business day. And then we played a couple games here and there. I think like I don't know about you, but I feel like we're kind of in a moment of shifting mentally for a lot of things. I finally found a hobby.
I know.
I finally
Holy shit.
Yeah, which is like going to the gym. I'm not a gym bro, but
You definitely are.
I'm not a gym bro in any
She
way.
finds milk a fun drink now, so
I don't. I just want to put it out there. I don't. If you weren't there on the stream, that makes no sense. I don't. And also, so I found a hobby. I feel like it's doing well for me mentally. I want to feel that, and the reason why is that I'm less bored of things, but because just time passes and I'm tired, and I think that's a good thing. But it doesn't necessarily make me happy. Does that make sense? Like it's if there's good and bad, right? There's less bad, but it's not like I have happy thoughts. So it's this really weird balance where I know that I've been doing much better, but I don't. It doesn't mean that there's more good coming.
Do you know what I think it is? You have what I noticed throughout the years of dating you, is I noticed that you have a very incredibly high expectation of what happy means.
Oh, right. Like what content?
Yeah,
means?
like what content and what happy means.
Okay.
Like you expect happy, like when someone asks you like, "Are you happy?" You always say no.
Well, I don't say no. I just say, unless it's just like a really casual conversation, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm happy. But like,
No, but when I
start
ask you,
thinking
you're like, no.
Deeply. I get into like a deep thinking phase. Yeah.
Right, and you say no is the point.
Say not yet. Usually a lot. I don't want you to. I don't think that I'm like just a negative Nancy. all
No,
the time.
can I finish my story?
We'll have to correct you if there's.
Okay, correct me in the end
You're
if
putting
it's not.
words
no,
in
no,
my
no.
mouth.
Correct me in the end if it doesn't
Yeah.
sound okay. But what I'm saying is that you have this really high expectation of what happy means. So a lot of times when I ask you like, "Hey, are you happy?" You're like, "No." You say no a lot, and it's not always like, "Yeah, I'm happy," or like, "Oh, I'm content." And I think you have like your definition of happy is someone who's like, and I think that it's an unachievable happy. Like
Yeah.
it's like everything is going okay. You're healthy. You have everything you want. There's nothing that you are thinking of. There's not like thinking of as in negatively. Like there's nothing wrong in your life. You have achieved everything. You have everything you want. There's nothing more.
Yeah.
Is your definition of happy, and no one can get that happy. No one in the world is that definition of happy.
Yeah, I agree, but I think as the years go by, I get a little better at kind of understanding that. It's just there's like this past month has been it's good overall. I think it's good overall in the sense that it's good overall in the sense that the nothing beats the somethings where. If something bad happens, there was some bad shit that happened this month, like that. There was some just personal things that just didn't work out, or just
I cried a lot.
it was just like. But I think if it was a normal kind of just any other month, it would have taken a harder hit on me. So I feel like it's about defense. It's about like your shield or getting better armor. And to me, finding a new hobby makes that kind of like def plus 2 rather than def plus 1
Yeah.
type thing,
True.
or 0.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like how much you don't get shocked when something bad happens, right? And so I think it's really good. And the fact that I am, starting to eat
Excuse me.
healthier, lose weight is kind of like is helping me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because I feel like I'm content, but not I'm still hungry though. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. I'm still
I
very
mean, you can
hungry.
be content and still be very hungry, I think. Well, I
But-
think that's why you are content. Is because you have something you're striving for. Like the fact that you have something to be hungry for is is a good sorry, hold
Hi
on.
Anu. Yeah. Hungry for is what?
Is I think a good reason to be content. No? You're
Yeah.
not, yeah, because you're not bored, you're not lost. You actually have this path that you want to walk,
Yeah.
that you're striving for. So isn't that content? Isn't that happiness?
I guess yeah. I mean, I think that's hard because that's I mean, that's a little too deep for me, but that's a little too
Yeah.
deep for my puny brain. But I think we have a couple things going on right now. And
We do.
there's some things, me personally, that we can't talk about. One of the things that we were able to talk about because of TGS was that we've been working hard with Torch, a brand that we all really really liked, and it was it was a model shoot. To make that happen, it was pretty smooth, but it means a lot because I always mention that brand. I bought I bought a shirt like on stream. I've always been a big fan. When the Radon series came out and I couldn't get it, I was bummed out. And I told that on stream many times. And then when it restocked, I went the morning that it restocked
Yeah.
and went to go get it. Like, I'm a big fan, right? Of course, I'm a big fan of the FromSoft series, but also I think Torch does that and puts it into merchandise really well, and it's licensed merch, which is really big. It's not just someone doing. It's not some like Redbubble shit where it's like they just randomly make stuff. It's actually licensed, and like we were able to. And I don't know how much I can talk about it yet, but like we got into the meeting and we got to like hear because I had to ask you. Do you remember that I asked you? I was like, was I being too nosy on our first?
Yeah.
Because I started asking a ton of like
Questions
because I was just interested, and you were like, it's fine, that guy's the guy that runs the thing and also the person that was there at the meeting obviously didn't mind, and they were happy to answer the questions.
I think
But
they wanted to talk about it. Yeah.
yeah, and he was telling me about all this like behind the scenes stuff even after the meeting, and so I was just like, it meant a lot. It's the first time that we've ever had anything like that, where we're streaming, and because of it wasn't necessarily because of our content creation. It wasn't because of our content that they found us, but it was someone reached out to us, a company reached out to us, and they wanted to do it in a way where it just felt really legitimate, where they took time out of their day and we went to their office, we did a meeting, told us what the model shoot. And usually it wasn't like, here's a shirt, take a picture of it.
Yeah.
They're like, here's a whole lineup, and it's a project.
Can you take a series kind of thing? Yeah.
And it was like, I've never been a model. Like, I've been models here and there, but that was like a legitimate modeling like request. And that was the first time that I sat there and kind of like, like business card type situation. And so I just got really giddy and excited. And so I'm the one that should know the rules because I was doing the desk job for 10 years, but I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I wasn't rude, or hopefully I wasn't rude, but I was like trying to be more curious.
Yeah.
Just to make it all, just to be honest and make it sound like I wanted to be there. So I started saying like, I really want you to make designs with this. How hard would it be if to do this? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. And then they told us, like, how, like, it's pretty much a one-man show. Just one passionate guy doing a lot of
It's
the
a
work.
really small team
Yeah.
that's
And
doing all of this. So it's pretty impressive that, yeah, it's a tiny team doing all these shirts.
yeah.
But it's really obvious that everyone on the team just loves the franchise. Like, they're very passionate about it, and they just love video games.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that all these, like, they genuinely, like, obsess about the game. So, and each t-shirt is, like, analyzed, and if it doesn't meet up to, like, one little specification, it gets scrapped, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
like, they're very strict with what they release and make sure it's actually genuine.
the accessories are what they really thrive in and
Mhm.
what they, like, spent the most time. And it was really interesting to hear that the reason why is because in the game lore, they don't wear a t-shirt with a prosthetic on it. They don't wear a t-shirt with amygdala on it.
Mm-hmm.
They have rings. They actually wear rings in the game, right? Or, like, they have amulets in the game. These are actual products in the game or actual items. So they need to nail it 100% to the, and apparently they do many meetings. Of course, the person that makes the crafts person that makes the rings, which is, like, apparently there's times when he would video chat the craftsman and just have the camera in the back so he can just watch the process if he can't be there, and just to make sure that everything goes exactly the same lore as it looks like, obviously, but also lore-wise, like, if there's, like, a little bit of a scratch in the art book, he wants to put that there because there's lore behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, it just blew my mind. I'm like, I should be paying to hearing these stories. And, like, I found out after we got the talk, right? I didn't really know much about the person that ran it, so I did a simple Google search, and there's like a team, like a documentary team that does interviews on creative people, and I knew this. It was in my history because I was watching one with Yoshpi from 14,
Mm-hmm.
and they did one for this guy,
Yeah.
for Harada-san of Torch, and I watched that. And he talks about the rings a lot there. And I think that has subs, so I highly recommend checking that out. It's super rad. Like, it's this guy, and he's just like that in real life. Like, he's a really shy guy, but he's super passionate. It's very obvious. And I think last time we went to we had a video chat for, like, a meeting. Before we got into the shoot, he was like, "Are you guys playing Armored Core?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That game is so hard." And you're just like, "I can't believe you guys split that. Like, it's unbelievable." And we were talking about Armored Core for, like, a good 30 minutes before we actually got to the topic. So that was.
So it's very obvious that they just really like games too.
Yeah.
So they're not just creators, but they're also players. So it's a very, I think, unique brand in a sense that they experience a lot of things firsthand, and that's why they know how to design a lot of things.
Yeah.
Or they know why the details of everything. So, like, there's, or, like, the reason why they chose specific rings and whatnot too. So, like, they know the significance of said rings. So
yeah, and we got to go meet them at TGS and went to their booth, and there's so many people there. It was so
and
sick.
I'm in their pamphlet.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You're in the Torch pamphlet.
I'm wearing an Abriatis shirt.
I thought it was like, are we allowed to talk about that shoot? Like, cause, like, I don't think the photos are out, but
I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it in the next one, maybe.
Because that was a crazy shoot.
Yeah.
Crazy shoot. Like, I think, was it? I don't do photo shoots, but is that what we did? Was that, like, pretty unusual, even in the line of modeling? Because I know you used to do that.
I mean, I've had outfit changes out in the street before. Like, where I have to change my entire outfit.
Yeah, that's one thing. We were changing shirts.
Yeah, right in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And, like, all these people would hold towels while you change your pants, and it's kind of awkward. But not that many, not as much as we did with this shoot.
These were all shirts, so we didn't take our pants off.
It was a lot of shirts.
Yeah, it was that was a really long shoot. Like I was we didn't even finish everything in one day. Um, I was
Yeah.
exhausted.
We had to split it. So
Yeah, it was super fun, and it was because we had a suitcase full of shirts, and I don't know. Every single time I saw the torch tag, I was like, "Damn, we're really doing this for
yeah.
Hong." Like it was really cool.
I
And
mean, modeling's pretty exhausting. So
hundred
it was a
percent.
lot. It was a
Yeah.
lot to do.
Even with like the shorter shoots that I've done, I get exhausted because I'm not used to it.
Right.
But that
Yeah.
one was like, and shouts out to Luke too for like taking all the photos.
Yeah.
Like
he was nice
so
enough to
super
help us
patient with
out.
us.
So
Yeah, he was, especially with me, because I think I take a little bit more time with the shoot, like retakes and stuff like that compared to you. So it was, shouts out to him, super patient. Um, yeah, so we did the torch tour thing, pretty big, pretty,
Mhm.
and we want to do more with them.
We do. So
Um,
hopefully we can.
yeah, hopefully we can do more in the future. It's just a cool, even if it was a one off thing, super cool opportunity.
I mean,
think.
let's make it not a one-off thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
sometimes it's not up to us.
that's true. Yeah. We'll
Sometimes
see.
they have a different direction
Yeah.
that they want to take. But
We'll see.
but yeah, Torch was cool. Besides that, TGS, we got to go around with some of our
Mhm.
friends. It was super cool to just see a lot of games. I found out late because we just kind of like strolled through the whole thing, and we didn't do any of the demos. We never really do because
We did one demo and that was it.
yeah,
So
we don't really like. I would rather just see everything and then, but we couldn't even do that because I didn't know there was like, apparently there was like a booth for, I don't know what you call them, but you know those devices that can play many like older console games.
Mhm.
Like you can play like a DS, PlayStation
Yeah.
1, one of those. There was like a booth full of those, and I wanted
Oh.
I wanted to see that. I'm always interested in seeing that because last time I was like, I want to stream a PS1 game, and I don't want to use an emulator. So I bought a PS1, but it was,
Yeah, it was
broken
broken,
as
so-
shit, and so it was
Yeah.
like, after that I was like, no, it was a PS2.
Mm.
It's one of those skinny ones. So like, but then like I have friends that have those kind of machines, and I got to go check them out like at their house, and they look really cool. And you can just HDMI it, and it's just super easy. So I wanted to see that. I found that out through somebody's stream. They're talking about it, and I was like, oh, we missed out on a lot.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like the games that we saw were all like the big ones that we were already excited for. Huge Persona booth, huge Yakuza. You went straight to the Kojima production.
Kojima had like a cool, booth. It wasn't games or anything. It was like a merch booth, and you can buy new Death Stranding merch.
Mhm.
A little pricier than I was expecting, so I didn't get anything. But a lot of cute, cool stuff though. They added a bunch of new stuff, so I think it's on their online store if anyone's interested.
It's like a high end. It would look like a high end brand.
Yeah,
Like all the
got a lot of-
walls were white and stuff. It was
yeah. They do that every year though, but
yeah.
yeah. And then I'm trying to think what else we saw. And we saw a huge Honkai, or I mean, just Hoyoverse booth. It was like a 4-sided panel. It was huge. And so they had Star Rail and Genshin and the new one, the
ZZZ.
ZZZ, yeah. And you can do a demo for that. We didn't get to line up because it was kind of a long line, but
And then we saw a walking pom pom from
Yeah.
Star Rail, and I
Mhm.
took a picture with it.
she did not stop walking.
I also
she
I also rode the Final Fantasy VII bike. Took a picture with it.
rode, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're in, can you do me a favor? When you edit this, can you put that picture right here, right in the
Mhm.
middle, so people can see this? I wrote it.
You'll have to send it to me. Yeah.
I wrote it. Okay, so right there. But we didn't play the 7 Rebirth demo because we're gonna play that game, so
Mhm.
might as well. And it was like an hour wait. We just wanted to see what was around, and then it was pretty chill. Like I don't really and then we just kind of did the whole thing, and then just came back. Was there a game or something that was like for you that was kind of like caught your eye or something like that? Oh, the Metal Gear booth was rad too.
Yeah, Metal Gear was cool.
Like they had the whole like it looks like you have to sneak in.
yeah.
But you get to play the remakes or the older ones.
Honestly, I didn't really see anything that caught my eye. I mean, of course, like 7 Rebirth, but probably that's about it. Unfortunately, there weren't too many games this year that they were announcing. Seems like yeah, a lot of games just aren't announcing games or a lot of people aren't announcing games at TGS anymore.
There's a huge Monster Hunter now.
Yeah, but it's like everything it's either like the things that's already been out or it's like remakes. So yeah, because Persona was a Persona 3 remake, which I am interested in because I love Persona 3. And then Yakuza just had a tiny little corner.
But they had like really big events.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
They did have events, yeah. They had a huge stage and everything.
Yeah.
So
Final Fantasy 14 had the
the Lego Crystarium. That was cool, yeah. But yeah, see, those are all games that we know of though. So nothing really new.
I remember when we first went to TGS, it was more like, let's look at everything.
Yeah, and everything was new too.
Yeah, and I felt like, dude, I got so tired so quick. Like not of the event, but it was like, so the day we went on the second business day. The first day the AC was broken. It was super hot. Second day I think it was getting better, but it was still pretty hot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I need to hydrate. Like I need to. So I would just get we got a water for the both of us, and we are just drinking it. But like we immediately finished that, and I was just like hot the whole time.
And also, I think we're at an age where just it takes a lot out of us. I think
it's information overload.
Yeah, it's just like so loud, so many flashing lights, lots of people. It's hot. It's not like you're hearing everything all at once, and it's just you're walking aimlessly sometimes, and it gets a little exhausting, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I was so tired.
Yeah.
I've been going to the gym recently.
My feet hurt so bad afterwards.
Yeah, I've been going to the gym recently, but that was more tired. When I got home, I was like exhausted. Like it was a whole different type of in a good way. It was like I had a fun time, just like.
But definitely don't need to go multiple times. One day is fine with us.
It was really.
We saw everything. We're good to go.
Yeah.
So
pretty much. That was kind of our TGS experience. We didn't work there, or we didn't
do anything work wise. So
we were just there to hang out, which is really fun. And then so I guess we can start talking about what to me, what is the biggest thing of this month, and it kind of connects with the overarching kind of like mood that I'm in with this whole thing. And I want to see if you think the same, but like, do you feel that like the way that we kind of see things are slightly shifting is different, but like I'm feeling a change in the way that we want to run this whole operation of like this really big thing called content creation. And I think you are kind of, it's always been talked about with your crafts and stuff, and we're really starting in our own DIY ass way, like kind of branching out, not like to brands or like sponsorship, not shit like that, but like personally, like you're starting to really grow out with your crafts and how we want Blluist to be. Do you feel that in the last month?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what you're asking, to be honest, but
like do you feel that? Okay, 3 months ago, all we did was stream.
Yeah.
And for the last 5 years, all we did was stream. Stream. Content creation equals stream. We don't do.
Correct. Yeah.
It was all about streaming. It was all about video games. It was everything about. And then now it's like, yes, you were doing crafts a little bit, but now we're kind of like incorporating that finally into the ecosystem of Blluist. Sure. It was separate from Blluist this whole entire time. It was like you'll talk about it, like, hey, I do this, and show a picture, and then it'll be like, when are you putting that up?
Yeah.
And now we're spending time and effort and asking people for advice and in experimenting how to incorporate all of this into actual Blluist and the community.
Yeah.
And not like, hey guys, we're getting sponsored by this to do, not shit like that, but like really hands-on DIY. Fucking if we fail, we figure it out, we talk to people, and we try to, make it better as we go.
Yeah.
And it feels really new to me. And it's scary as hell because I don't think that we both want to do, because there's going to be money involved. And that's something that I really want to talk about is that and it's not something, it's really hard to talk about, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is the perfect time to talk about it. Is there's always money involved. That we have to ask for money, and we always suck at that.
Yeah.
But because you're not going to be just giving out your crafts for free, right? That's
right. And that's why we're doing the auction.
And and that was that's been suggested many times actually.
Yeah.
By really, trusted friends, but we kind of didn't want to do that because we didn't know.
For a while, yeah.
And then we got we sat down and we said, hey, you're really getting into the crafts thing. It's been a while since the pins. Now you're doing these kumihimo, like I'm wearing them right now and on the mic and everything. And people really want them. And you said you wanted to do something with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through every single option that we could. There must be more, but every option that we could do without getting any help. And one was the most DIY or like what made the most sense. And it came down to, we can either do something that's more secure, trustworthy, something that's easier, something that's more secure, but the trust lies in the system and not us and the people doing the auction.
Right.
And this is the way to go if you have a really, really big fan base, something that you can't keep control of. Right.
Right. Yeah.
But in our case, we wanted something secure and something that is a lot more hands-on, and it's trust. Wait, what? Did I say something funny?
No, just I think you're making it really complicated.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you can simplify it.
I think there's two options we had. One was basically to either like you said, it's more about how if you have a big following, then it works because it's not really about being fair to each person. It's first come, first serve. You're competing with a shit ton of people. And so you just want to make sure what you're doing is just releasing merch or something that's more for the masses, I suppose. Something that you don't maybe necessarily prioritize fairness or prioritize each and every person. I think especially if you have a really big following, like if you're a really big streamer and you want to sell something you've made, the last thing you can't really make it fair for every single person because there's just so many people. Correct?
Sorry, before we get into this, keep going. For people that don't know what we're talking about, we should have started with that. We're doing an auction on Discord for Blu's crafts is what, and so we're kind of talking about what the mindset behind that. Sorry, keep continuing. You can continue.
And then in our case, since our viewership or our community is a lot smaller, so instead of prioritizing, launches or money in a sense, I think we can actually prioritize fairness. And that's not something you can do when you're bigger because of the sheer amount of people. But in our case, since our community is smaller,
it's more intimate, I would say.
It's more intimate, yeah. People actually, I think people genuinely get bummed out if they're not there for drops. And I mean, of course, people do get bummed out with bigger audience too, but it's I think if you have a bigger audience, a lot of people are a little bit more understanding. They're not understanding, but they're more lenient about that. They're more oh, you know what? And that's how it is. That's how the world works. That's how every other apparel brand and stuff works.
They don't think that the eye's on them.
Yeah.
Or they have actually in a sense, that one opinion is well, me bitching about this or me being sad about this and voicing my opinion isn't going to change it. They kind of give up. Mm-hmm. But ours we're really reachable.
In this case, we're really reachable. And I think it's also in our capacity to make it fair for everyone. And so what we wanted to do was, instead of just being hey, this drops in 2 hours, and then we run into the issues of time difference and then people not being able to be there because they were sleeping or it was during work, we figured an auction system would be better because then we have it up for 24 or 48 hours. people can bid, and then at the end of the 48 hours, hopefully they've had enough time to kind of figure out, like, you know what, I can bid a little more, or you know what, I'm done here. And if it gets, if I get overbid, then I'm okay with it, kind of thing. Is how it seems so far. So we just thought that'd be more fair to our intimate community, and so that's why we're using auction instead of just dropping it as like a single item with a set price.
And I think an auction is also just it could come off as something that's it could come off as something obnoxious because the price, let's be real, the price does go way above what we think the price is versus like a $30 bracelet and just flat price.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the people that are bidding don't think this. It's always the people that don't bid on it or are not going to even think about bidding on it. Might have like a what are they doing? Are they being greedy type thing? And that was a big thing because, yes, we want to. I don't think we can please everybody. Even in our intimate community, I don't think we can please everybody. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right. But I think this is the most. It makes sense for us at our side. I've always said this with the things that we do. It makes sense because we are our size.
Mm-hmm.
It won't make sense when it becomes bigger, or it won't make sense when, blah, 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 blah. And I think for us, that was like the perfect way. So we don't do a first come, first serve situation, like you said. Also, lottery was one thing, raffle. We do that with merch because there's no limit, right? It's order to made. So like our merch system is a drop ship system, which means that when they start making it after an order comes in, it's not that they don't make 100 shirts, and once the 100 shirts are printed, they print the 100 shirts, and once the 100 shirts are sold, it's over.
Well, I mean, the thing about lottery also is
wait, hold up, and then so when we do a lottery on stream, it's doesn't matter in stock, and that because it's order made, which means that if somebody gets it and they don't care about Blluist, it's fine. We don't lose any money. We don't lose any we don't lose a shirt that could have gone to someone that won. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? But these are one-off things. So if we do a lottery and make it like, unless we put a paywall on the lottery, which is a gotcha, which is like,
I don't want to do that.
Which is very predatory in my opinion. I think we only wanted people that were interested and wanted it to get in. And a lottery system with a free entry just didn't seem like it doesn't level the field. It just adds more people that might just want stuff if they were on stream or something like that. So, and it also doesn't financially help anything. So
I mean, in my case, I do want to eventually develop this into a store. So I can't just. It's not productive or fair to even myself for the time and money that I spend on these things to just give it out for free, or to give it out just to people who don't actually want it. Because that kind of sucks too. Because it's like I want to, I want to give it to people who actually want it. So I guess weighing all the options, we figured an auction would be the best option.
Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting thing that without streaming, this wouldn't have, without streaming and the connection that we made with the people, that
this wouldn't have worked.
It's for us. And I think that's what's really important. This is what is different about what you're doing or what we're doing, and let's say a bracelet on Etsy.
Yeah.
Because if you buy a bracelet on Etsy, you're looking at how well it's made, how well it's made, the price, and you're not looking at who made it.
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah, you guys-
95% is who made it for us.
Yeah.
And so I think
I mean,
that's what's really important.
People have expressed that they want my really shitty first drafts, which I can't imagine why, but apparently, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
thing. So
There's a service that sells secondhand books, which is a normal thing, but it's like a really personalized experience, and you can buy books from, let's say, a famous person or a famous writer or something like that, and it's just a book that you can buy anywhere, but it has all these notes that they put in, and all these like the doggy, the doggy ear.
dog-eared, yeah.
It's dog-eared, and then there's like little personal notes that they wrote. So as a product of a book, if you tried to sell that secondhand, it'd be super low price. But it actually goes for way higher because of that person, because that
Right.
person or anybody, it's their notes in it. It has their notes in it and has their kind of story in it. And I
Right.
think there's so much value to that, but that's only possible because of the hard work that we put into and creating a connection with people. And I think that's what the important thing about this auction is, and why we think that it's the best way to do it. And then even with that, even getting to that conclusion after like hours of thinking, we tried it, and the first time there was so much support for it that there was too much support for it that we needed to kind of figure out a way to kind of make it
Even it out
a little
so
bit.
more people can bid on items.
Yeah.
And more people can win stuff.
And the thing that I want to say is that I don't want the people that are bidding for it to feel bad. That's the shittiest thing.
Exactly.
It's the system's fault. It's our fault for creating a system that
makes people feel bad to
Right.
bid.
And we said it was
So-
experimental, so we're gonna figure it out. And I think we're kind of at phase 2 of trying to figure it out. And there's gonna
So
be
we'll see
more
if this
and more.
works. Because the last thing I want is like two things. I don't want the people bidding to feel bad if they keep winning. And then I at the same time, I also don't want people to feel discouraged because only one person keeps winning, if that makes sense.
Right.
So it's like we have to find this good balance where the people who do keep winning are like they don't feel guilty for that, but at the same time we want to make sure that people don't feel sad or they're like, oh well, I'm not gonna bid because these people are gonna win anyway, so I don't have a chance, kind of thing. And we want to avoid those two situations.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we decided to do what we're doing now, which is 2 auction items, and you can only bid on 1 item at a time, kind of thing. If this doesn't work, then we'll have to think of something else.
And
But
also it also cannot be everybody can get it, because then that
Exactly,
would
yeah.
mean that you open up your store.
exactly,
And
yeah.
you don't have that. There needs to be that rarity to it too.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not doing like 10 items at a time.
Yeah.
That
limit.
also I can't keep up with production wise either. So
Yeah, and I think, what do you think? Like, we're doing it, and I think we're gonna keep doing this. It's a really interesting experiment for us. And let's be real, with how much we get, I'm gonna talk about money. It's
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah.
With how much we're getting with like Patreon and then Twitch, and then when we do a drop for merch, and which is not all the time, and then now we have this auction, right? Patreon's kind of like, we need to think of something. We're still kind of maybe
I
the book
do want to
club.
start the book club.
Yeah.
Just sorry, the auction has taken my focus at the moment. I do actually want to start the book club as well. So that's still in the works. I apologize, it hasn't been up yet. Hopefully, I can get it by holiday season, because then maybe we can spend the time during like Christmas, like holiday season, to read a book, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Right.
so I'll try to get it up by December at least.
And maybe I'll do like, I was thinking, because you were gonna do the book club, and then maybe that people don't read, and there's a lot of people that are interested in books. I might do a different thing, like make it like something clubs, and then make Patreon that, because we have a lot of stuff on Patreon, but people don't. I mean, Patreon's very limited, right?
Yeah.
And then like we're thinking of changing our whole Patreon to a system where it's just like monthly club activities.
Yeah.
Which would be an interesting thing with all the stuff that's there. So I'm not gonna take anything off. Like, I have like a ton of vlogs. We have a ton of like videos. We have a ton of like there's these really interesting things where it's like you time lapse all of your merch designs and you kind of go over like these are really niche things, but we'll leave everything up there, but kind of use Patreon as a monthly club activity. And if you're gonna take books, maybe I'll take something else, right? Maybe I'll take Blink 182. Do you think anyone's gonna join if I do a monthly
One person is gonna join that, and I know exactly who. So one person will join that, and that's it.
Just to show support. Just to show support. I'll have.
Yeah.
Anyways, having Patreon as a club activity is something that we're thinking of, and the whole reason is because Twitch subs doesn't pay enough, and that doesn't mean, I just want to make it clear, it doesn't mean that
you
I'm
guys
not
aren't like,
blaming anybody.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't mean that people aren't supporting. It's really not that. It's not that. It's all about just.
I mean, it's our size as well. So there's kind of a limit.
That's on us.
There's a limit to how much we can make based off of how many people we have in the community. So
yeah, and
we're not blaming anyone except for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So because like we would have enough money if we had like a ton of people. So but that's the difference is that you guys are doing so much more than we've ever expected.
Absolutely.
So we can't. There's really no room at all to complain.
And that's why we've never ever, and we never ever will, bitch about or complain about the lack of subs or anything, because
we don't lack subs at all. We actually have more than most people our size.
It's up to us.
Insane.
The thing is, and if this is like a message to ourselves when we first started streaming, or like we're going through a hard time because we felt like we were relying everything on subs. We are trying to, like, I think we're being really creative. You know, when you go online and you hear don't put everything in one basket, right? Yeah. All your eggs in one basket. Okay. Going Twitch and YouTube
isn't the answer.
It's still the same basket.
Yeah, it's still the same
basket. Like if you're just,
you're still a streamer.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And it's like, if you're succeeding in YouTube, like that's different. But I think there's a big group of people that don't find making videos fun, right? Or that live for live content, and people that are this is us. Like I don't necessarily find it fun to make YouTube videos. So when we have Roy that makes our edits that are like a million times funnier than I could ever make, and it's really interesting. Like Roy's really, we don't really talk about. We talk a lot about the stuff that he makes in private. So I don't know how. Maybe this is something that he doesn't really want to talk about, or me to mention. But that dude is like very serious about.
A genius?
Well, yeah, skill wise, he's a genius, but I think, but besides that, he's very serious about making content and wanting to get better and wanting to, and he talks about us and he talks to us about anything that happens.
I'm terrified he's gonna leave us.
And he's I think it's mostly me and him that talk about that, if he's like, yo, what do you think about this? What should I do? And I think I don't know how I would just give him my input on stuff of like what I think is, but I'm not successful on YouTube. I don't know, and we both know that. And
it's like a fun learning experience for both of you.
Yeah. So point is that we're not really big on YouTube videos, and I always thought like, make YouTube videos or like whatever is, if that's your thing and it's working, those are two different baskets, 100%. But rather than do something that we don't enjoy, we want to kind of break out of that shell, because I think we have a lot more to offer, like with your crafts or like these book clubs or like, stuff like that. And I think we're trying to make it a creative way and something that's fair, something that's fun. That's really important. A fun way to create money per month, and that doesn't rely on subs or views or anything like that, because not everyone can get clout. Not and then this is really important. Getting that viewership on all these different types of platforms takes time. Yeah, it takes time. So it just doesn't like And I'm not saying go for the quickest thing to get money. No. Like I'm saying there's other ways that you can use your head that's not video content or stuff like that. And I think we're really asking that question really hard.
Yeah.
And trying to execute it in a way. And maybe this could be something that could be better. Like maybe we might not have the most amount of subs, or the most amount of members or whatever it is, but we're still making enough to get by. Because that's really all I want, to get by. You know, like get by in a little bit, to just not feel like we can't pay the bills or something like that. I don't.
Yeah.
That's like all I want. So I don't ask much above that. So that's what I meant at the beginning. It's really hard. I didn't really think about it too deeply. It was a feeling that I had about this like shift. Because before I was just always streaming, what to do with streaming, and I'm slowly kind of moving away. Not saying that I don't like streaming anymore or anything like that. It's completely different. Streaming is still my number one favorite thing to do during the day. But that passion for streaming, right, is always going to combat success or progression, right? And finance, money always is a factor that you can't run away from, right? And if you're not doing good financially through streaming, it always pushes you down. And it's always that passion or the love for it and the community and all that stuff that pushes back. But it gets harder and harder every day because progression is hard to see. So once I'm seeing all these other outlets, whether it be this Lucky Chance with Torch, whether it be with crafts, whether it be with this or that, and we're seeing a lot of income, a lot of streams of income, still small, but streams of income, you kind of start to realize like, I don't have to push back so much. That pressure from the top is starting to like loosen up of like, okay, get this many viewers, get this many subs, get this many, and I wouldn't say it's easing up my mind because I'm using my mind like 300% every day more because there's so many other things that I have to think about.
Yeah.
But it's not stressful.
Right.
Or there's like a little like light inside that's like, oh, maybe this is the answer that we've been looking for, or this is the answer that we need to go into. So I really enjoy talking about YouTube too. Now it was like a hassle to think about YouTube, but with someone like Roy that helps us out, it's like, oh, like that's so cool. You made this amazing thing. We do this approval thing sometimes on the stream. Like I've never denied a video from him.
Yeah, no.
Like that guy fucking nails it like every time.
Isn't the one thing we had to say something was, what was it? There was I think it was like, it was too sexual or something. The sexual innuendo was a little too much, I think.
Oh, I vaguely remember
like
that.
Really long time ago.
I gave it a go, and then you said no, and then then we replied, okay, maybe you should change it.
Yeah.
But it was like,
I think that was like the one time.
I was like, that's kind of funny, but
it is funny. No, it was hilarious, but yeah. We would have to put like a.
It was when you dropped the N-word. I think that's. I'm kidding. Of course, you would never say that.
It's not even funny.
That was a joke. Okay, she never did anything like that. But I think there's a shift. Okay, and I try to word brain it and try to put it out into words. But what do you feel? I've never really talked about this. We just kind of been in motion for the last month. But does what I say make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what we've been talking about for the past?
I've been talking about it, but I haven't heard that reflection. I've been talking for like the last 10 minutes straight, but
that's normal.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, like I said, I eventually want to I still do like streaming, don't get me wrong, and I do want to keep doing streaming, but I think I want to go in a different direction from it. Maybe focus more on doing craft streams as well. And because I still love video games, don't get me wrong. And I do want to stream video games, but I also want to stream crafts as well. So I do want to get into art streams, which is always difficult because I always feel like it's boring. And I'm not very good at doing art streams, so hopefully it's something I'll get better with time. But I do want to bring these, I guess, all my works to a different level, I suppose, to a certain extent, in the future by opening up a shop, like I mentioned earlier. Because I think not just my crafts, but this is my ideal store, okay? My ideal store is a store that has my crafts as well as like pins or my kumihimo and whatnot, as well as I also want to deal with like old kimono as well, like what I'm wearing is one of the things I've been thinking of, are just traditional Japanese clothing that I could I guess like used clothing that I could sell to people overseas. Which it seems like there's kind of a lack of stores that do that. So I just thought it'd be kind of cool to mix up both. So that's my goal in life, not life, but like future, which I thought would be kind of cool to have a store that kind of sells those kind of things to people overseas.
That's
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I've been trying to get some myself to see how that works, what the quality is like and everything as well. As well as, yeah, I mean, the crafts are something that I've always been wanting to make from a hobby into some like legitimate business, so I can actually say like, oh, I'm, I do this as a, not professional, but like it's more legit than just, oh yeah, it's a hobby, if that makes sense. Like if I have a thing where it's like I can't really call myself an artist unless I'm actually selling art, if that makes any sense. Like it's just a hobby, and so it's not really legitimized in my head. So I think it's finally like going in a direction where I can say that yes, I am an artist, an artiste.
Yeah,
more than just like a pastime hobby of a housewife, which I'm not a housewife at all. But yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
You gonna do dishes right now or something? If you want to be that.
I make more money than you. You're the housewife. Excuse me.
True.
I bring in.
Don't drop the truth bombs like that.
Well, I bring in more money than you. You should be doing the dishes.
No, dude. I'm the resident neat. I'm just here.
No one asked you to be.
I just go to the gym recently, and I cook everything in this house though.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
Is you're the resident housewife? Yeah.
You're right. No, but I'm
husband.
I'm very
Should I get you some sunglasses?
Yeah, I was gonna get sunglasses and the apron.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud. I'm very, very happy for and I have something that I'm really excited about too that I can't mention yet, but I've been spending a lot of time kind of setting this up, and that one's also not gonna bring any money, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
You
need to think of something that brings in something to this house.
That's also something that's just a complete passion of mine. But anyways, I think it's really important, and all of this is only possible because of the people that support us. And I just really want to make that clear that it's everybody that's just been with us, been there, maybe left, came back, or was there and not even here anymore. So they'll never hear us saying thank you to them. But it's them. It's you guys that let us do this and let us maybe feel like a somebody instead of nobody. And I don't mean that in like a egotistical way, but I mean that in lets us, even during our failures and when we feel like we didn't do our best or couldn't do our best and it could be better, you guys let us try again. You guys create a space for us that's easier to try again.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's it. You wouldn't be doing what you're doing without these people.
Yeah.
Without everybody that's
exactly.
And that's really important. And that's why I think we should when you say small community, and I've said this for a long time, and I was thinking about it, and I just always felt weird to say that. It's felt really disrespectful to the people that support us. it's intimate. The word is intimate. We have a very intimate connection. With the size that we are, I think we have a very intimate connection with maybe even the lurkers, maybe the people that we don't actually talk to day to day.
We actually do, yeah.
Because some people with the auction said, I lurk, but I came in just for this. I had
so happy.
Yeah, and that's
I
awesome.
didn't know. So that's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even during stream yesterday, a lurker came out and said they loved our cozy chaos dynamic.
And they said that they told their husband that their legs went to the bathroom because that's what I said, and they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So their husband will not be watching Blluist.
Probably not. But it's fine. It's fine.
But seriously, I think it's thanks to you guys. Seriously, I hope it's a hard topic to talk about because it's so easily misinterpreted if you use the wrong words. But I hope that made sense, and thank you. And we'll keep doing this. So that's pretty big change for us this month. So with that, let's get into the questions that you guys have for the SOSO podcast. Here we go. First question for Blluist this month on super original question of the month here by...
No, it's actually not. There's the one beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So we have a question. So we're some of the people have their names hidden. This is Stoic, right? But I think...
Yeah, that's why you have to look at your Discord.
Okay. Sometimes because we're
we're
in streamer mode, so then because we're using OBS.
Oh, it's right there.
Here we go.
Stoic.
Stoic asks, what color palettes do you like for your outfits? What are your fits for cold weather? Ooh.
I mean, I wear black.
Yeah. I wear color.
So boring.
I'm a big fan of color palettes, Scott. Like, yeah, I wear a lot of bright colors. I like yellow shirts. I don't have many, but I like the mustard yellow is like one of my favorite colors when it comes to...
You wear a lot of flannels when it gets colder.
Flannel, the red and black flannel. I like pink a lot.
I'm starting my kimono journey, so I'm hoping that eventually all my closet is just kimono. So in the wintertime, I'll wear like a winter kimono and I'll get a winter like actual jacket they actually have coats for kimono. So eventually I want to get one of those too. So that'll be my fit.
Fits for cold weather, I would say I'll wear a leather jacket, my biker jacket.
You have a down coat too.
Yeah, so
like
I'll wear
really
the
big fluffy one.
Those are the two. If it gets like fall, kind of beginning of winter, I do, I'll be wearing the biker
Chester
jacket
coat?
every day.
Too?
And then when it gets super cold, like January, February for us in Tokyo, probably the down jacket goes hard. It's like bigger than me. I love it. And
or I mean, a nice wool Chester coat goes a long way too. So
yeah, and
a
hoodie,
big chunky scarf,
So you'll see those fits. Maybe not on stream. Maybe if we do IRL or something. But that would be my go-to. Okay, thank you so much for that question. Senpai Dumpy Meister, the Meister of the dumpsters, Aka Dumpster, asks, question for Gray. When will you take Blue on a date? I already did. Okay, and I also don't appreciate how many reactions this got. Okay,
it's fine. You know what? My friend is actually taking me on a date this Sunday, so I'll just go on a date with her.
I already took you on a date. We went on an anniversary date. It wasn't the best, but it was. We
went to dinner.
Yeah, that's a date. Is that not good enough?
I guess so.
Thank you so much for that question, Dumpy. Actually, thanks for that question every month at this point. Vaughn asks, is there anything materialistic you want to buy? Just like something fun or something for yourselves? Right now, nothing really.
I really want to buy this one obi. It's really cool. It's like a really modern obi. So it's like all like, it's kind of a wrinkly, like shiny fabric. And it looks like leather. So it looks so badass. And I really want it, but I don't need it. Yeah.
I want shoes. I've been wanting shoes for a while, but no, you know what I want that I don't need? I've been having this like thought in my head. I bought this Fred Perry polo shirt like 2 years ago, or maybe like a year ago, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna go all Fred Perry. Just polo shirts, and then haven't gotten one since then. So
I mean, you had issues with not being able to fit into that shirt either. So now you can.
yeah. So maybe
you might be able to. Go
but
back
also
now.
it's pretty expensive. I would have. I'm thinking I would get like secondhand
Yeah.
everything, but
Yeah.
that's something materialistic that I don't need for sure. For sure. So maybe that. Thank you so much for the question, man. Appreciate it. Robbie asks if you guys have a chance to write any book, what would it be about? Probably for me. No,
Yeah.
Blue. It's not gonna be about Blink 182. Okay, I already did that in middle school.
I was gonna say about Tom DeLonge's like cousin or some shit, but okay.
Tom DeLonge's cousin.
Yeah, I don't know. You know everything.
Something definitely music related. Maybe like the music scene in Japan, or like the the music scene in Japan is actually pretty a peculiar one because it's completely unless you go to like the super like hardcore community, hardcore as in like hardcore punk community. They kind of have their own thing, but but it's still really influenced by Western music. But it's interesting to see a culture that's so strong and kind of intimate, but completely influenced by Western style. So there's like these like really weird non-Japanese traditions, and it actually creates a community that's a lot more accepting and a lot more open-minded compared to like my office job people that have nothing to do with stuff like that. So it's really interesting how that affects kind of their insight on culture through music. That would be I would probably try to write, do interviews and stuff. How about you?
It's either I write it's either I write a book about like fashion, traditional clothing maybe, or one of the other obscure things I know about fabric or yarn or some shit. Or I go the other route and I write like a horror book or something. I've always wanted to try writing a novel, but I don't think I'd be good at it. But I think it'd be kind of cool if you could write horror well.
That would be so hard to like create. Like it's even hard to do that in visuals to make that atmosphere and words. Oh my God.
So I feel like a really
That's
good
crazy.
horror is hard to come by. So I think it'd be really cool if I could write one.
That's cool. Thanks for the question, man. Ambot asks, are there places in Japan you guys want to visit for vacation? Osaka.
Yeah, he wants to go to Osaka to the DDR machine so he can dance naked.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Any plans to do IRL streams, vlog when you're there? 100%. I want to record myself, and this isn't even a joke. There's a place in Osaka where there's a Love Hotel with a DDR machine, and I want to take a video of myself naked, and specifically have our editor Roy take the raw footage and censor it. I want to see his reaction. That's all part of the package. How about you?
I want to go to Kyoto.
Kyoto's nice.
Yeah, I want to go there again.
Yeah, but
I can probably find so much like you gently used traditional clothing, so it'd be fun to go. Much more selection than here.
I want to do, and so I've already talked about the Osaka thing, so it's kind of a meme, but not really, because I really want to do it. But besides that, I want to do something where I take a plane to like Okinawa and back in one day. I want to do like what I can do in a day, starting from home in Tokyo to Okinawa,
and then
back, and then being like, dude, I just did a day trip to Okinawa, and this is this, and I'll stream the whole thing. Of course, not on the plane, but like my whole adventure or vlog it. That's something I want to do. I think that would be a cool idea. So yeah, thank you so much for that question. And Bully asks, outside of the next Final Fantasy VII game, what other games did you see at TGS that got you interested in playing Persona 3 Reload on your radar?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do want to replay Persona 3. I'm still a little salty about the fact that you can't play as the female main character, but I am so interested because Gray's never played.
Yeah, never play it. I would be interested. I played 5, but
Yeah.
never the other. I played a little bit of 4 too, but what was that in no
Trio?
in no trio? So we played that game, demoed it. It's kind of like a Souls-like. It kind of looks like medieval, not medieval. What do you call it? Renaissance type aesthetic. It looked really unique in the sense that your whole outfit changes when you change your weapon, and I thought that was really cool. I'm sure there's a ton of mechanics that we didn't check out in the demo. The Souls-like kind of reminded me of like the world of Baldur's Gate almost.
Yeah.
Color-wise.
It's very colorful.
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking forward to that one. When the demo or something comes out, we'll definitely stream it.
Yeah, that one actually looks really good.
Yeah.
So
we were suggested that from somebody, and they're like, "You should go check out the booth." And we're like, "Okay." So then we went to go check it out. But I mean, it's been kind of a with Lies of P, too. It's like that was the first Souls-like game I played this year, and it's a huge hit for me. So. And before that, like Armored Core is not really a Souls-like, but it's a FromSoft game, very difficult too, and completely different from a Souls-like. But it really adds a lot when it's split control.
Yeah.
And Lies of P definitely does. Even though Lies of P is still fucking hard in single player, even after you beat it in split control, shit is hard. So it's pretty intense, and we're not even close to done. So it's hopefully a no trio can be something like that too. I think has a lot of potential. So definitely looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
How about you?
I already answered.
What did you say? You said
Persona 3.
What do you like about Persona 3?
The story and, of course, the characters. The robot girl is probably my favorite. She's so cute.
That's the one where they shoot their head, right?
Yes.
Are they going to censor that?
Probably not, because that's like the whole part. It's part of the story.
Wow.
So it's a really edgy game.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
It's an edgy game for edgy gamers.
It's an edgy game. And on that note, hey, edgy gamers, thank you guys so much for hanging out on this month's SOSO podcast. We'll see you guys next month.
We'll see you next month.
We'll see you guys on stream. Take care.